Hi, this is 3-3 estimating products, and up top I put estimating products of whole numbers, so you are not to get confused about what we are estimating the number to. We are using whole numbers only. So 2 definitions that I would like you to put in your spiral would be underestimate and overestimate. And if you underestimate, both numbers used to estimate were less than the actual numbers. We will talk about that, and I will show you an example. Or I could just show you an example right now. So go ahead and write this example down. So if I have 31 times 52, that's kind of hard to do in my head, so I'm going to estimate, and I want to make these into whole numbers that are easy to use. So I'm going to estimate, I'm going to ask myself, is 31 closer to 40 or 30? And it's closer to 30, so I'll change that. And is 52 closer to 50 or 60? 50. So I just estimated both of these numbers. Well, I estimated down. So 31, I really took 1 away, and 52, I took 2 away. So that's how I would know that I was underestimating. And to get this product, I would do that little trick that I taught you guys. 5 times 3 is 15, and then add your 2 zeros. And your comma comes after 3 spaces. So right there. So you would have 1,500. An overestimate is both numbers used to estimate were greater than the actual numbers. So here are my actual numbers in my example. 36 times 57. And like I said, it's kind of hard to do in my head, so I'm going to go ahead and estimate. So I asked myself, is 36 closer to 30 or 40? Well, the number in the 1 spot is 5 or more, so I would add 1 more over to my 10 spot, which I would get 40. And 57, is that closer to 50 or 60? It's closer to 60. And so I would say 4 times 6 is 24. And add my 2 zeros. Add my comma, and I would get 2,400. So I have overestimated this answer. Another way to check it would be to do the actual problem. So if I actually did 36 times 57, so if I actually solved the problem, I would get 2,052. So that was over my answer that I got when I estimated. So that is another way to figure out if you overestimated or underestimated. I would also like you to write down all of this in your spiral. Please write it down first and pause the video while you write it down. And so while I'm explaining, you can follow along. So go ahead and do that now and pause the video. So you can use rounding to estimate. So like I said, we're using whole numbers. So whole numbers would not be, I would not change 525 into 520 because that would not be a whole number. That would be, we're estimating to the nearest tens. So I'm going to switch 525 and I'm going to round it to 500, and then I'm going to round 31 to 30. So pretend my problem says something like, Lily has $525 to spend. She wants to buy 31 horses. How many horses how much money would Lily spend? Back up. Okay, we'll say the problem is each horse that Lily wants to buy is $525. She wants to buy 31 horses for some unknown reason. I would like you to estimate to find the amount that Lily would spend on horses. Pretend that's the problem. So basically we're just finding 500 times 30. So remember how we do this is if it ends in all zeros on both of them, we can use the trick. So 5 times 3 is 15. Add all of our zeros, which are 3. Remember to start from the back and go over 3. That's how you know where your comma goes. So Lily would spend $15,000 on 31 horses. All right, so in on state assessments or in practice work, you might find that they ask you, was this an overestimate or underestimate? Well, what did we do? We went down from 525 to 500, and we went down from 31 to 30. So I already know that we underestimated. Another way to find that out would be to do the actual problem of 525 times 31. And I'm going to save us some time and tell you that 525 times 31 is 16,275. So our number that we got compared to the actual number is, it's under. Our estimate is under the actual number. So that's another way that I can tell. So we'll do one more together, and then I would like you to try 3 on your own, and they'll be on quiz questions, but if you get a different answer than what I get, talk to me about it once you're done. So make sure you write them down in your spiral. Talk to me after you're done, because sometimes we'll get something a little bit different, but it will still be correct. Your answer will still be correct. So let's go ahead and do this one together. So make sure you're writing this down in your spiral, please. And let's see what we are going to estimate these numbers to. So I start out with 75 times 28. That's a little hard to do in my head. So I'm going to round 75 up to 80, because anything in the ones place, if it's 5 or more, just like when we rounded with decimals, we add 1 more. So I'm going to round that to 80. Same here. This is 5 or more. I'm going to round this to 30. So I know right off the bat that 8 times 3 equals 24, and I have to add my 2 zeros. 3 spaces over, I add my comma, and I would get 2,400. So I'd like you to try the 3 quiz questions that I talked about. Remember, if you do not get one of these, do not freak out, because we could have multiple answers. If this is not your first quiz question, but if you see one like this, obviously you cannot round this down to 0, so you just leave that alone. If you have just a 1-digit number, leave it alone, and especially if you can only go to, 0. And then just round this number. So in this case, we would do 3 times 100. All right, so your first quiz question will be 39 times 58. So we're going to do 2 quiz questions instead of 3. First, I want you to tell me what you round to. And the second quiz question for this one, I want you to tell me the answer you got. So go ahead and solve that. All right, so we can solve together now that you've done it on your own to see if we got the same thing. So I would round this to 40, and I would round this to 60, and I know that 6 times 4 is 24. Add my 2 zeros, and I would have gotten 2,400. All right, let's try another one. All right, your next one, I'm going to have 3 quiz questions on this one. What did you round to, your answer, and did you over or underestimate? So go ahead and fill this one out. All right, now we will solve together. So I would have changed my 513 into 500, because that is way closer than 600. And I would change my 19 to 20, because 20 is closer to 19 than 10. So 5 times 2 is 10, and this is where some people get tripped up. This 10, that 0 in the 10, it does not count towards these zeros. These are special zeros. So the special zeros come after the 10 that we got from 5 times 2. So now we have to add on 3 zeros to the back. So 1, 2, 3, add my comma, and I get 10,000. So is that an over or underestimate? What did you put? So it should be, an overestimate. And some of you might be wondering why, because here, yes, we dropped down 13, but here we went up 1, so we did different things. So in that case, we actually have to solve out the problem. So we have 513 times 19, and if you solve it out, it gives you 9,747, which our estimate was over that. So that one was kind of tricky. If you got that wrong, that's okay. Just there to throw you off and teach you something new. All right. Come see me. Let me know how many you got right and how you felt and how you did. And I will talk to you later. Bye.